Giving you all a moment to get in here. Wise Solace speaking. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. Click that thumb as well and visit the website, upscaleknowledge.org. I have a new manuscript out, very deep, very whatever you call it, very informative. Now I want to discuss a few things today. The things in the topic section as well as some other things. I'm assuming I'm clear. Peace and wisdom, watch your mouth. 367 or 187. Oh, sorry. I like to have a little fun. Please don't come in here, sticks in the ass. This is not the place for that. People in Babylon, meaning people that's, have the systematics ingrained into their mind. They don't see how they're made into a pet. So if you separate yourself from Babylon or the system, then you could see like what everybody is without knowing what they are, because they're so programmed under what they are that they're it every second of their life. Think like a cop. The young man goes to the academy, he learns whatever they teach, and you can see every programming in his action, the way he stands, the way he thinks, the way he speaks. More than that, y'all be so proud. Like, I'm a cop, you know? The medical student, someone who works in the medical field, it's the same way. Y'all have like a programmed perspective. And you can see it in every action that y'all have. Like, same with the gang member. He don't have to tell you what gang he's in. If you watch him and you look how he dressed, the way he positioned himself, the vernacular he uses, it's like that. It's like in the system, everybody grows up as a kid, they find something to get into, and then they become programmed or like the pet of that thing. And then from there, y'all carry it into y'all casual or social lives. So the cop is the cop even in a regular environment. You follow? Y'all don't have awareness. Let's say I curse, I'd be like, fuck that. Most of y'all have a system mind where you're like, oh, he cursed, not realizing like you're grown, you're not at work, and it doesn't actually matter for anything. If you really think on it, it doesn't matter. We're all grown. Little kids already know not to curse. It wouldn't matter if they idolize somebody that do. They know they still shouldn't do it. And kids are going to do whatever they want. We all was kids and we all did whatever we wanted. The point I'm making is it's about unwinding the mind. That's not to say walk around, stupid. I'm not saying you should walk around cursing. I'm saying y'all should become aware of how programmed y'all are in regards to whatever y'all programmed under. This goes to everything from like systematics, politics, this thing, that thing. Peace and wisdom. This is not the place for that, champ. I'm not sure why you're seeking attention in a tacky, stupid way. But results is everything. So your actions are going to get you a certain result. Keep that with you. Meaning when you're moving through this life, being a goofy. Well, you get my point? Outside of that, Mature. This is a place for those seeking wisdom and seeking to mature their mind. Your life is probably a joke, so you desperate to joke. Sometimes I play here, so maybe the play is all you feel like you can measure up to. So we want to play. But this is a place for wisdom. Make sure you can measure up to that first before you want to get into the lesser things with me. Peace and wisdom, champ. Just be quiet. I don't want to let you go. You may have something of worth to say one day. You get my point? Peace and wisdom, Joshua Hall. Like I said, I don't want to block none of y'all off. Y'all may mature and get wise over time, and maybe you do have something important to write in the comments. Maybe so important I need to just bring you on and let you do your thing, for a session or a lesson, but I'm grown. 43. I don't really deal with people under 30 too often in regards to like casually. It's strange and perverse to me, but that's my own perspective. And so, peace and wisdom. You said my dialogue is very one-sided. I haven't said anything yet. Now I want to start with the 6-9, but whatever you're talking about, you can go deeper. I don't know what you're talking about. There's no sides in life. We're all just here. And you get my point? We all have to get along together. In that, you get my point? There is no sides. There is no man versus woman here, this versus that here. I got a mother. That's a woman. I'm a man. You get it? It's not that hard to balance things out if you're aware of reality. Most people slip into their own. And so, you said, why should we believe you have wisdom? Wisdom ain't a matter of belief. Wisdom is a matter of truth. You lost into a system where everything boils down to belief. You have a belief system. You believed in Santa Claus. Blah, 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 blah. But that's not what life is about. It's about truth. Peace and wisdom, beloved. And so, you don't have to believe if I'm wise or not. And that's not my concern. Everybody gonna get whatever they want from wherever they want to get it. And so, hopefully it's sufficient. If it's not, well, I guess this is why you have different levels of intellect in life. Now, I want to give this jewel to the brother 6-9. Hopefully no one gets offended. I know you guys move on emotion. Who you like, who you don't like. And, this is why we don't get anywhere when you're dealing with, I don't want to just say blacks, but minorities. We get lost into emotion, who we like, who we don't like, and we put truth and, the things that's important to the side to serve the emotional state. But then you get my point? We have to live that foolishness out. Now, 6-9 has a campaign going where he's basically letting everybody know the rappers are fake. And they rats just like I am. And so he's calling out Jim Jones and whoever else he can. I wouldn't care. It's not my problem. But I just want to give him some jewels because a lot of the youth, y'all start out young like 6-9 and nobody schools you. They just exploit you. And then y'all gonna be like 6-9, where your mind is like crossed out, where you don't get things. And so this is just for clarity. If 6-9 sees this, people don't like 6-9. Peace and wisdom, Dream Lavish, and Henry the Real. I apologize. I missed your big day, Henry the Real. I think you talking about your birthday, maybe a wedding. If you speaking of a wedding or something, you ain't inviting, but you could have. Now, you said 6ix9ine is one of the best internet trolls we got in today's times. A troll is a clown. Don't ever overlook that. And ain't nobody gonna be a clown or pretend to be a clown unless they are. Just like ain't nobody gonna play dumb unless they really are dumb. You know how sometimes y'all play stupid? You really are. Because a wise person wouldn't play stupid, ain't no point. You get my point? And the person that ain't a clown, you ain't gonna be able to pay them to be a clown. It just ain't gonna happen. They just ain't a clown. And so you get my point? 6ix9ine isn't the best anything, but maybe this make him better. Now 6ix9ine, he doesn't understand how like he's a rat and how y'all pick and choose the rats that y'all like. And so I want to say this to 6ix9ine. You're a rat, meaning you was running with the gangsters in a life of crime. Things that didn't go your way. So you told. Now you're in the rat space. And you're telling on the other rats. This is why people don't like you. Because you're a rat. It doesn't matter where you're put. You was on the gangster side and you told on them. What's your reasoning for telling on the other rats now? What are you gonna say? Because they said something I didn't like? Because the other people like these rats better than me. You're gonna have that in any environment. Meaning even in normal life, people like certain people more than others. And I suppose that's gonna carry over to the rat space. So maybe they like Alpo more than they like you. But a rat is a rat, it wouldn't matter. There's redemption. I don't want anybody to think like whatever you did in life, you can't redeem yourself. You can redeem yourself, but it's a way to go about it. Showing that you a rat more, well, that ain't the way. You get my point? And I want y'all to all think on that. He's offended because he ratted or he's looking for a justification or for confirmation that he did the right thing. So he say they wasn't my friends, they didn't do right by me. So why can't I rat on them? If they beat you up and kidnapped you and had sex with your girl, you can't say, well, that's good enough reason for me to be able to rat on them. They wasn't loyal to me, so why I gotta be loyal to them? It's not about loyalty to your friends or your enemies. It's a loyalty to the rules. You follow? You're gonna be in the streets, you gotta be loyal to the law. But you think it's about loyalty to this person or that person. Whoever followed the law, they're gonna fall under that loyalty. You say, I honor. Whoever fall under that, you get it. And whoever don't, it wouldn't matter if you like them. You're not supposed to like nobody. You're supposed to like principality and whoever stand on that. And that's what a lot of you young dudes don't get in the daytime. You think there's a justification, so you say, well, if they did this to me, what does it matter if I told on them? You telling don't got nothing to do with them. It got to do with you and you being a rat. And that's basically somebody that don't honor anything. Now, if you question like, well, I don't feel like I'm a rat because you get it, they did me dirty. Well, here you are now in the rat space, ratting on all other rats. You say, man, Jim Jones a rat too? You're the perfect example of somebody get caught up or don't get their way, then they're going to tell on everybody. And anybody they can. And that's something you got to see about yourself. Like, you told on Sarah, you tell. That's all you do. Like, if anybody questions, let's say you denied you was a rat. I know you was a rat because you ratting now on the other rats. Sarah, man, you're ratting on the industry. You said, man, they buying views. You're looking to get acceptance. It's a deep thing. Like I said, a lot of y'all start off young, and you get my point. You don't get the proper understandings of things, and you make things what you want them to be. So you got every excuse for you to be a bozo. And it's okay because everybody else is a bozo. And that's what make a bozo a bozo. If everybody decide to be a homosexual or a clown or any other thing that nobody gonna get offended by. So you basically cool to go along with whatever's whatever if everybody else is. And that's what make a clown a clown. Nothing else. Because you don't have a backbone to know like to stand on what's what. Maybe one day on the truth and these things get pushed to the side, but they only gonna get pushed to the side if everybody a clown. Meaning they just go with whatever the trend is of the time. And so you get my point? Hopefully nobody taking offense. 6ix9ine is right in everything he said. Meaning y'all pick and choose what rats y'all like and what rats y'all don't. Nobody honors honor. And so nobody need to look to receive from it. You follow? Meaning 6ix9ine a rat or whatever he is, maybe you overlook whatever rats you like to like, and everybody guilty of their piece of dishonor when it benefit them, not standing on their square all the way. And that, nobody need to cry. Deanna said he's just doing the right thing for himself. He's not doing the right thing for himself because he have to live this out. Meaning if this was the right way, then everything will be right with him. And he wouldn't be online having to cry to y'all or try to change y'all perspective or make y'all feel like y'all need to accept him. If you look closely at 6ix9ine face, it looked like somebody cut him and he got a tattoo over it. Look closely. It looked like somebody blew him bad and there's a tattoo over it. And y'all don't know what he go through on his day to day. And y'all don't know how it eats him up or whatever's happening, but something ain't right. Cause he like all over the place. He got neon green hair and Crocs on. He got beat up at the gym. He had on poom poom shorts with a wool fleece. This is not healthy. More than that, he probably on drugs. And you get my point? You gotta look at things from a whole, but not to judge somebody, but just for the empathy. In that, I'm telling him what I'm telling him in his video. Cause maybe he ain't got no elders to tell him. And so it's about redemption. Meaning he needs to good with Shotty in them. You get my point? He did them wrong because most of the crimes that they charged for is crimes that he created. You get my point? He looked like the Joker for real. Now, like clowns, he look like the Joker. You don't overlook the Joker, it's a clown. You gotta get to a place where you get it. A clown is a clown and you not looking to be entertained or care anything about it. But the point I'm making is he has to redeem himself. He thinks redeeming himself got to do with doing what he already being frowned upon for. People didn't like you because you was different. You're Mexican with colorful hair, gang banging. You gotta expect that. You did that for that. You could have blended in with the gang members. You wanted to stand out and look weird. And so you get it? You got what you wanted, but I guess you got lost forgetting it wasn't never about you going against that flow. But showing them like, nah, y'all bugging. I'm just doing this for the attention. You get it? I'm from here. Like, I ain't capping about being from Brooklyn. Ain't nothing but gang members out here. I'm from all of this. I'm just a Mexican. And you got all kind of people out here. You get my point? Brooklyn is diverse. You might have a Arab with cornrows, and he been here since birth, and you get it? Yeah, his people try to keep him Arabic, but The dude is what he is. You know? He an Arab that grew up in Brooklyn. He got cornrows. He been there since a baby. You can't say he capping because he a blood or whatever is normal in his environment. Everybody keep overlooking that. Whatever 6ix9ine was claiming to be, it was natural in regards to his environment. Unless you gonna say he ain't from that environment. And so you get my point? He just a little kid. When you young, ain't nobody gonna respect your handle. That's what proving yourself is. It don't matter you had green hair, this or that. I was young, and it's the same with me and anybody. The older gangsters is not going to respect your gangster until they got a reason to. Till you show them like, nah, whatever you was as a kid my age, to make you what you are now, I'm that same thing. Just when you was a kid though. You're not handling it that way. You're doing more telling. You on the rat side, now you telling on the other rats. When you on the gangster side and it don't go how you want it to go, now you telling on the gangsters. You can't say, oh, they beat me up, had sex with my girl. Whatever they did, you gotta handle it according to the life that. I apologize, I skipped on that one. But what I'm saying is, you can't be a gangster or whatever you were, and then when things don't go your way, you decide, well, I'm gonna be a goofy. If you solid, you gonna be solid regardless, however the cards is dealt. Ain't no other side to go to. In that mean you was always a goofy. If when things don't go your way, that's what you could resort back to. And so if they had sex with your girl and did you dirty, then you're supposed to meet that force with the same thing. Meaning do that. You probably say I ain't in position to go to war with Shotty and they'll swallow me up. You gotta just lay back in the shadows until you of measure. But becoming a goofy ain't the way. In no environment. Shit, even on the online streets, like whatever the rules is, you can't be a goofy on it. You gotta stand on it. Again, even on the online streets, whatever rules y'all got on here, dude can't be talking around it, talking about no, but it's different. You follow? Whatever the rules is in the environment is the rules of the environment. If you won't play in the environment and act like you a part, then it gotta be held to you. You see how I come online and I say whatever goofy shit y'all got going, I'm gonna make sure I do the opposite. I ain't got nothing to do with y'all. Y'all weird. You can't hold me to nothing into the environment. All you could do is hold me to Bogarting in y'all space and y'all not gonna do nothing about it. And that's that. I mean, you can hold me to being a bully. Y'all hold me to elbowing my way in this space, but you get my point. Y'all still gotta play by y'all rules. Like y'all can't tell on me and stuff like that. Like aren't any rules that got to do with like handling your own and not telling. It's mature and manly, to have a problem, handle it yourself. In the daytimes, a man come online and he'll tell y'all like, there's no disrespect to Supreme Team Prince. Prince is old school gangster, but he online crying to y'all about how somebody told on him. Why? What y'all gonna do? You see how retarded that is when you think of it? Now, of course, I know OG just you gotta do something for a living now, so you get it? He succumbed to whatever y'all do in the daytimes. But I'm just making that simple point. Why would a man come crying to anybody? You handle your business. If somebody told on you, you gotta handle your business. And if you don't, then you gotta get handled. Cause you brought rats into space. It's just like a house. If I come stay with you when I bring rats to your house, you gonna look at me like you better be the one to get rid of them. And if you don't, you gotta go. And I'll get your rats out of here. But you're not gonna just sit around here while you bringing the rats in. And you get my point? And I'm not saying this for like, who is I think Prince is mad at Bimmy. But whoever y'all mad at, I'm not saying this for y'all to like stand on whatever businesses y'all live by. I'm making it clear that y'all don't actually live by no honor, nobody. And so don't nobody need to look to receive from it. But I'm just making a point all the way around the board. You get my point? In the past, that's not the way. You get my point? You handle your business and that's that, and there ain't nothing else to be crying about. And so, if you a man or young in the daytime, that's how you carry it. You handle your handle. Try not to make no mistakes. That's a part of being a man too. Maturing, learning, and you get my point from experience, alleviating a lot of mistakes that you're gonna make. You get my point? Handle your handle the right way. You said 6ix9ine is just an online entertainer. He know what he is, but he is one of the best entertainers online. Yeah, y'all get lost into PR talk and all this dumb stuff. He's a ghetto kid from the ghetto like La on here. Some of y'all gonna get famous this year. You just a dusty from wherever you from. And he ain't got no manners, no morals, or nothing. And I'm sure they make a whole story for everything you fuck up and be like, no, it's entertainment. Meaning when they fuck up, then they PR spin it to however you talking. When you say, no, they just doing it for, they just goofy. And the PR spent it for you to think like, no, they're doing it on purpose because any attention is good attention, but that's not true. Stupid attention is stupid attention, and good attention is good attention. And you get my point? They gonna hit y'all with all the dumb talk if y'all take it. And so 6ix9ine just a kid like all of y'all that's online right now, hoping you make it. He did. You learn from the error in his ways, cause y'all selling yourselves out like he did, as if y'all can't do things the right way. He could have did everything the right way. Meaning he could have told on Shotty and them, but he could have made right with them after that. And made right with whoever else, you get it? Got caught up in his foolishness, being as though you said he did all this for entertainment. Well, you sacrificed hella people for you to be an entertainer. You used Shotty and them. You knew goddamn well they wouldn't hang out with you just on the humble. So you used them for the purposes of you being an entertainer. That's low. And you get my point? You basically letting it be known. I live the same. Like, I'll use my family and the people around me for entertainment purposes, and it's okay because the PR person said so. Y'all better stop losing yourselves because somebody convinced you selling yourself out is just. Especially when you start selling out other people that you know so desperate. They gonna go with things they normally probably wouldn't. You get my point? And so it's about redeeming yourself. You make good with Shotty and them and whoever else you used in your path to become whoever you are. But from there, you get my point? People will accept and respect your redemption moving forward. Meaning whoever you offended in Chicago, whoever you offended anywhere, in regards to you becoming famous, make right. Reach out to them. See how you can make it right on the moving forward, because you still got to live the rest of your life. He probably not a bad person. He don't seem like he a bad person. He just seem like y'all. Like y'all dumb as fuck. And y'all always want to be what y'all really not. And then you get my point. And get the results of the faking. And whoever else attached themselves to you, you get my point. They get whatever you got coming. It's about moving forward right. You get my point? Meaning that's the whole point of this video. To move forward the right way. You know? Have things better for yourselves. You said, how is it fair if 4 or 5 people jump you when you alone? Anyone would snitch if that happened to them. Y'all kind of weak in today's times and it's sad. You said, I don't know if you a man or a woman. I'm assuming you a man. Your joint say Dean. You said, how is it fair if 4 or 5 people jump you and you alone? It's not fair. So you need to go get 4 or 5 people maybe 8 or 10, and you go back and handle that. You didn't hear the part when I said it's nothing more manly than handling your own affairs. You're gonna go run and tell now. Then what about the people attached to you? You get my point? Now they get to go down the drain with you because the way you see it, if anything happened unfair to you, that give you right to be a rat. How is that, y'all? That's what throw me off with y'all. How is that? How has that become the answer? Like, you see how you said something that don't have nothing to do with like telling. Say they jumped you. When I was growing up, if somebody jumped one of us, we didn't never think like, let me call the cops. If you my age and you was coming home from school and you got jumped, did you really think, let me stop at the payphone and call the cops? That didn't even cross your mind. You like, I'm about to go get the fellas. Like, I'll go tell my parent and let them decide. It never popped in your head. Let me go tell. How that happen to y'all? Like, I'm just, it's strange. Y'all brainwashed by the system. When your answer to everything is let me go tell the cops, that means you've been brainwashed some way by the system. Because the stuff y'all bringing up don't even got nothing to do with that. You get my point? Y'all basically saying anything that happened to you in life, you should just tell. Like, why not just be a cop and get a salary for that? Meaning y'all shorten. I don't get it. If you're gonna be a rat, be a cop. You could get paid for it. Why are y'all doing dumb shit for free? Like, you get beat up for free, then you go tell and be a cop for free. Y'all don't care nothing about yourselves and what y'all get? Because the cop, maybe he get a promotion and the niggas that beat you up, they get whatever honor they get for it. And what you get out of it? Beat up and labeled the bad thing? And this make logical sense to y'all. You say, yeah, I'll tell. Man got to handle his own affairs, and this is how a boy got to be raised to understand. You gotta handle your own affairs in life. You can't run to the system like a damn slave monkey. The system might as well be your elders, your daddy, everything for you if that's what you do. You say, I would just go tell the cops. You might as well just be one. Wouldn't that be better? Now, y'all got this mindset from like Vlad and other people that tell y'all civilians can rat and soon it's gonna be regular gangsters can rat. And if you get in the gym, just say you a civilian and rat and you get it. It's not about ratting, but it's about honor. Whatever the honor may be and whatever the environment may be. And so y'all just making reasoning and excuses for y'all to break honor. And y'all think whatever dumb thing y'all say justify it. So you say if 4 or 5 people jump you, why don't click in your brain to like do them the same way back? And if you can't, meaning if you ain't in position of where you can't, then you got to eat that and learn off it. The lesson, I need to get aligned, like with whoever I need to. So this don't happen again. Running to the cops ain't gonna stop you from getting beat the hell up again. Why would it? Are y'all getting the point? You said, imagine you tell the cops, then they might jump you too. The cops is gonna jump. Y'all crazy in the daytime. The cops gonna beat you up. And gonna be calling you a rat and treating you bad. They only treat you good when you a rat because they want whatever information you got. But once they get it, just ask 6ix9ine. Once he ratted, then they just threw him back in jail, and whatever happened to him and really care. Who cares what problems he got now? And so you get my point. You're gonna get beat down in this life. You gotta learn to enjoy it. You gotta learn to get to the place where you say, I'm gonna be the sheriff around this bitch. Ain't nobody doing nothing. Like, unless I say. Other than that, you're gonna be getting beat up in this life. To make your back strong, it's like cake and dough. You gotta beat it. You gotta turn it into a pizza or whatever. Look at self like that. Y'all too delicate. You're looking for too many excuses. Like, I don't understand. And so, if you young, take heed to what I'm saying. They putting y'all on a rat course where y'all serve the cops so the cops don't have to do no work. And I ain't never with somebody getting off doing their work. Y'all being manipulated to do the cops' work for them online and offline and anywhere else you could think of while they get their salary. And if you ride around and you see the cops, you'll see they just sit in their cars now doing nothing online. Why is we paying them for that? Again, if you pay attention to the cops in the daytime, especially if you live in New York, they just stand on the corner or sit in their car, and half the time they be on their phone like that. They don't do nothing because y'all do everything. They don't have to do nothing but just be on call for whenever y'all gonna call. Whenever y'all gonna send a recording through. You get my point? Now letting the cops off the hook easy. I'm sorry if you a cop. I ain't trying to interfere with y'all bump. I would do the same. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if a nigga gonna do all my work and I could still get paid, I'm not knocking you. But I'm just not a cop, so you get my point. Keeping y'all secrets don't serve me in any way. Sorry, but I ain't knocking you. Like I said, I would do the same. Ain't no harm there. Like, now let the trash clean up the trash. You feel me? I'm with you on that. But I ain't with you, so oh well. You get my point? Now, you said you blood a crip. You in the wrong place. I'm the wise servant, champ. Maybe you check out the about section or whatever that's called, and then come in here in the right, frequency. Y'all be jealous gang banging. This bum gang member want to look tougher than the next bum gang member. And if this bum gang member getting more attention, then here you come like a bum. Yeah, this ain't the space for that, goofy. This is a grown-up, mature section. I hope you ain't over 25 asking somebody if they blood or crip, because you's a whole goofy. And you can get dusted off anytime you want on the set. Whatever set you are, wouldn't care, nigga. And that's not bullshit talk. Y'all be doing all the fronting in the gangs. I've been in the gang when I was younger. You niggas can't fight or do nothing. Don't even play with me on it. I dust half you niggas off in one session. Like, no breather needed. It ain't gonna be more than 3 seconds. Bitches just swing like that. That's what y'all do. Then y'all go to jail and y'all fight the same way. Just start swinging mad aggressively looking dumb. And so don't come in here promoting like gangsters is tough. Y'all ain't. Get real. It's about becoming a man. Nothing else. Come in here with the fake gang member stuff and you grown. You're not gonna get whatever reception you looking for. This ain't the kid space. Some of y'all need to be ashamed. You're a grown ass man running around with kids talking about you gangster. You not gangster. You slow, nigga. You probably was on a slow damn bus. And you probably wasn't never in the grade you was supposed to be in. 15 in the 6th grade ass nigga is now 30 years old, still gangbanging. That part. He said, how you know all that? Because that's what you are, nigga. A slow behind the schedule ass nigga like most gang members. You got 60, 70-year-old gang members out here. You see how slow behind the buddy? Nigga like a nigga that's 30 still in school. Don't overlook what I said. Cause you niggas be lost. Said I'm an engineer. And you even twice stupid. Got engineer talking about gangster stuff. A waste of knowledge, man. A brain full of engineering knowledge and you talking about gang stuff. Making my point. And so, if you somebody that come from hardship in the street, the worst thing you could do is let a whole goofy that probably live a suburban life and have a good upbringing convince you that you need to be gangster. Because that's what's happening in the daytime. You got people that ain't gangster and they ain't even live that life. But maybe they accept it or they accept they self in some kind of way. And they convincing you to be more and more gangster while they got an escape and you don't. You can go to their nice little neighborhood and you can't. You get it? We talking about the rappers and all of that. Don't be sitting on here listening to no rapper tell you about how you need to be gangster in any way, and you already know that nigga got a whole different life than you. He got options where he don't have to be bothered with nothing that you do. You a fool when you letting people convince you things they ain't gotta live. And so I'm gonna leave that there. Peace and wisdom. You need to get your kids. Salam. You said you got a son that's blood and one that's tripping. They fight each other. It sound like you need to get offline and go tend to that. Salami. Now I don't believe anything you said. I don't want you to, get too proud of yourself. I don't believe you an engineer anything. I think you're just stupid. But maybe somebody like you. Now, hopefully y'all grasp, something out of that 6ix9ine portion of this thing. Hopefully nobody took offense. It's about becoming mature. Not living for the world anymore, but living for the morals and the principles that life got to offer. So that others can follow that and then everybody can receive off that goodness. You follow? If everybody doing the right things, then we all can receive off that rightness. If not, well, we all receive off of what we do now. And so you see my point? Meaning indirectly, everybody kind of served dishonor in some kind of way. And I'm sure everybody got a dishonorable complaint of some sort. A complaint of unfairness happening to them in some sort. But everybody take their part in that. You get my point? And so hopefully you grasp. I don't know what you mean by frustrated, but I'm a grown up. Maybe you're a little kid and you giggly and goofy. Girl, unbuckle your buckle, you farting and shit. Coming on yourself. I'm sorry, I seen this movie the other I seen this movie with Nicolas Cage, man. And he kept popping up in everybody's dreams in the movie. A young girl had a dream that she had sex with him. So she wanted him to reenact the session, but when she went to unbuckle his buckle, he farted like, burn. I'm like, what am I watching? Then she start unbuckling his buckle, blood came on himself, and then capped it off with a fart. I said, how blood gonna fart? He came on himself, he bust a good little nut and capped it off with a little fart, like, and then ran out the house. I said, this nasty bastard didn't even wipe it. White people crazy. Blood bust a good nut on himself and didn't even wipe himself off. He got mad and frustrated and left. Why you mad? You just bust a good one, my guy. She was like, you just came? Because she was unbuckling his joint. And he was like, he bust a good one. I said, damn, he was holding that. That right there. I let off a good one. As soon as he finished, he farted again. She like, what the fuck? She was sitting there confused. I'm crying while I'm watching this. Like, what? Who put that in the script? Like, why is this even needed in the movie? When I watch movies, I be thinking like that, like to see who's a pervert. Like, whoever wrote this part, they yo weirdo. Like, why you even put that in there? Like, that happened to them. Some chick was undressing and they farted on himself. But if you lost and you was wondering why I told him somebody unbuckle his buckle, farting on himself and burping and all that like a goofy. And most of y'all don't need no sex in the daytime. You feel me? Cause you You gonna blow so fast and you gonna cap that thing off with a fart. And that's just wild. That's wild, crazy. Imagine you having sex with a dude, he come and then fart mad loud. Bang! Like, yo, got a little tinge to it too. You like, damn, I'm gonna curse him out, but I'm gonna let the smell pass because I don't open my mouth. You feel me? That smell go, you know? The smell go in that mouth. It's deep. Now, where was I? I apologize. Y'all know I got to have me a good time. Peace and wisdom, Jesse McCormick. Y'all didn't see that movie? I don't know the name of it. It was strange, but that was the fun part. And it's crazy because I was like, damn, that don't happen. Don't happen to me. I won't mess up the scene, blood. Man, I know it. I got it. You say I was standing over here like this, and I just came. Okay, you ain't got to tell me the scene. I got my own. Just shut the hell up. I got it. You feel me? But these things only happen in movies. User said, Solace, bro, we have to chop it up real soon. I am maturing so fast that it's unbelievable. When you become mature, the focus is not going to be on yourself maturing, but it's going to be on you bringing awareness to others about them maturing. You're like a kid, like, Daddy, look, I'm. Your vernaculars are wrong. You follow? Meaning, if you was truly mature, it would just show in the ways, and it would come out in your words, and you wouldn't view the self as having to prove that. You get my point? That you're mature. You would just think like, man, I need to help other people become mature. So, hopefully you grasp. Peace and wisdom, Lorenzo Bukes, Orlando Lawrence. I dream scenario. I don't know what you talking about, Shades. Dream Lavish said, is a rat somebody who will do anything to save themselves? A rat is a betrayer. And whatever the situation is, you a rat. If you a betrayer. Let's say you were online bad mouthing somebody and y'all had like whatever y'all had. You a rat. Meaning you a low life. And so that's the easiest way I could sum it up. That way you don't get lost on one faction of life. Where you say, oh, this is just a street thing. That's the street terminology for a betrayer. I suppose in this environment they got their word for betrayer, so on and so forth. But a rat is a betrayer. Meaning somebody that will betray somebody and find a means to justify it. You get my point? And so, I'm going to say 90% of the people in your life are rats. A weasel. Some kind of a rodent, I wouldn't know. I like to keep things on the up and up on my end. So everything be up. Now, if y'all have any questions in regards to these types of matters, ask them now. I'm about to move on to whatever's next. Like I said, I like tacos, but hungry. Coming in here a little hungry, huh? But yo, eat. Yeah, that's what I call, I call people all kind of things. It just depends on the animal that they are. Some people rats, some people weasels, some people snakes. You get my point? Some people sheeps. This is dumb motherfuckers that graze the grass with the buffaloes. Vegans in there. Just playing if you're a vegan. But like I said, I call people many different things. It's not that many lions and tigers, but I'm one. The kings of the jungles, you feel me? It's a deep thing. Now, I'm supposing y'all don't have any more questions on street stuff. Hopefully, y'all all have a brain to like, there's better things you can do in life besides being in the streets. It's not gonna bring you that much of a benefit. It's a desperate thing, meaning it's for when you fucked up and ain't got no real option. So you like, I'm gonna try my hand, I'm gonna risk my whole life. Maybe I can make something of it. And you don't want to never lose sight of that. You don't never want to get desperate if you can avoid it. Maybe you just got to go through a little bit of struggles, whatever the time it take for you to get things the right way. And you get my point? That be the works. But I would say avoid the streets, but don't avoid no morality of any sort. Morality, morality. Henry the Real says some people only know the streets and nothing else. Indeed. That's not true. People like to play stupid, but y'all all went to school. So y'all were around people that wasn't street, maybe. And so that's not true. But people hold on to whatever they want. And they make whatever they want to make something for themselves. It's usually not even nothing. Meaning y'all gotta learn poverty and wealth. And this go before the physical. Meaning a lot of y'all got poor mind. It start there with the mind. The mind either poor or wealthy. The emotional state either poor or wealthy. And then in the physical you either poor or wealthy. But it start with the mind. A lot of y'all got poor mind. And so you get my point? You hold the lesser things. Put the lesser things on a pedestal and you don't kind of understand. It's all manifestation. So it's like I put in a post. You can't manifest with a poor mind. The same way you can't go buy nothing if you ain't got no money. For those of y'all that's lost in the manifestation and you think it's a shortcut for you of some sort, it ain't. Manifestation got to do with mental currency, a purchase power of the mind. Like I said, the same way you need money in the physical to buy what you want, and a mind have to be wealthy for you to manifest on that plane of existence, so to say. And so most people get into manifestation as a shortcut to their physical poverties, not understanding that it wouldn't matter if you're rich or poor in the physical. The state of the mind and the state of the emotions is their own, something separate from the physical. And you got to be wealthy in that regards as well. And that wealth mean more than anything. The physical wealth is what bring y'all into poverty. You get my point? Nothing is nothing. So if you don't have anything, which is what y'all call broke, that just mean you ain't nothing. You in baby mode or you ain't nothing. You not broke or rich, you nothing. Broke is when you go the other way. This is when you go into the negative, which is where most people in Babylon are. They have many things, but they're in the negative for it. That's poverty. Think on that. Let's say you got a $50,000 car, $300,000 house, and you're paying the mortgage off on it or the car note off on it. That means you put yourself into negative so you can have something to make you feel like you're not poor. This is poor when you put yourself into debt. You follow? Wealth ain't a debt thing. And so we have to learn things like that. When I say we, I'm speaking of minorities. Y'all are going into wealth, but really y'all are going into extreme poverty where you're going into negative. So you can appear like those who have no negative. You get it? They got a nice house, nice car, no debt to follow. You got a nice car, nice house, but you're in the hole for it. The house worth 300,000. you're negative $300,000 in the hole. You follow? We have to learn these things. Our desires take control. Desires being the foundations of poverty. You said it's better to look like you rich so you don't get made fun of. I mean, if you an adult and you in environments where people give you, I don't understand the question. I'm too far past these ages. I'm 43. I don't know what age. I don't know what age that stopped at. I'm not from y'all times. In my times, once life got real. Wasn't nobody running around pretending so much. You get my point? And I'm just being real to you. When I was young, shit was real. Once you had to pay bills, ain't nobody got time to be out. You feel me? We all real talking to each other. What you got going on, blood? Cause the rent, I'm trying to get. I need a little extra, man. Y'all run around here fronting like y'all got all the money in the world. So then y'all like I ain't getting no help. Cause you good already, man. You're not a part of the real section. We'll be like, nah, blood. Come on, y'all huddling. What you gonna do? I got this much. What you got? Put this together and make something happen. Like, you already good. Y'all goofy in the daytime. And so, like you said, it's better to look like you rich and be in debt where you crying behind the scenes so you could look good for the public, which is what this generation kind of live. Y'all be all broken and bent up behind the scenes so you could look like you doing good to the public that ain't even paying you no mind because nobody know you exist to care. You follow? And so you have to learn things like that, meaning you start here. You never let nobody convince you to buy debt. I tell you, man, give me $1,000. I give you this car, right? The car costs 40 grand. Give me 1,000. I give you the car. Nigga, I just sold you $39,000 of debt. Again, I made you give me $1,000 so you could take $39,000 of debt. And then when you miss a payment, I'm gonna take the shit back and do it to somebody else. Hey man, just give me $1,000 down, big baby, and you get it. I will sell you this debt covered up as a car. We have to get to that place where we see through the bullshit. Where it's like, hold on, nigga. How about I give you $1,000 for the $40,000 car, and then I don't have to see you no more? Why can't it be in my favor? No, why can't I get over? And so y'all have to kind of see. Now I know you feel good when people see you, I suppose, but behind that, you know you gotta serve self at some point. You can't live for the world. You gotta serve your own self, do what's best for you. What makes sense for you? Pretending to the world like you rich. Well, when was that ever y'all different in the daytimes? Meaning in the past people hid their wealth. You wanna know nobody wealth because people cheap, like they can have a lot and be pretending like they don't. I ain't got it, big baby. They begging you ain't got money because they like, nah, I don't want nobody to know. Crack babies is grown. I come from crack baby times, blood. Niggas is crack babies. They become adults. They aggressive, man. I don't want them to see nothing. They strong. You know, slow people strong. They're like, chill, blood. Slow nigga grab me. I can't get loose because he retarded. He got retard grip. They ain't getting out of that. And so you kept it cool. Like, nah, I ain't got much. You from the ghetto, you already know who getting money because they be getting out the way. Like, I ain't got money. I ain't got nothing to talk about. I'm not even here. They be coming and going from work. You try, hey, bro, wait, let me holler at y'all. I'm in the rush. You know I got to get these kids. They like, fuck out of here. You niggas find out I got money, then I'm gonna have to live in the neighborhood I'm supposed to live in. You wanna get over. You wanna live in the ghetto getting hella bread. Find your way however you find your way. But the point I'm making is at some point y'all have to learn like, real wealth. And it start with the mind. It start with understanding, true God. Yeah, leave when this group events because they like, woo, niggas gonna start begging, let's me get out of here. If you live in the ghetto, whoever getting money, they avoid y'all like that. They view it like, man, it's a lot of y'all. Somebody gonna beg, and you get it. I'm gonna be like y'all if I I'll be fucked up like y'all if I go hang. So I'm gonna just be invisible. You feel me? If they had invisible cloaks, I'm sure. You feel me? Hell of y'all would be living in the hood with your invisible cloak, right? Nobody even know I live here. Hella money. I'm rich. They don't know I'm tucked away in my invisible nightgown cloak, blood. That shit be glitching. They see you. Like, fuck, blood got money because he got an invisible cloak. Then this shit is through. I'm sorry. Let's stay on topic. You know how if you're religious, I'm gonna make it short. Let's say you're a religious person. So you have belief in God. You know, this ideal. And this is how they tricked all Babylon monkeys into like this belief is a power. Belief is a power that come with the will. And God ain't a name or a false idol. God is the will. And when you in the will, well, the will is one with God. You say, what's God's name? God don't have a name. God is the will. This is a thing that's in your mind space. You get my point? And this is where poverty and all of that start. They start with understanding thought and will. Will is the thought that creates or manifests reality. And thought is what the mind do when it's just sitting dormant. It's like in the physical. You got thoughts that make you get up and do. And then you got thoughts where you just sit and think and ponder. Poverty and wealth right there. You say, I want to learn how to manifest, Solace. You got to learn that first. First, you got to know true God or what bring forth the manifestations. Like I said, y'all pray to these false things, you get nothing. Some of y'all are into manifestation, but you get nothing. But it's because of simple things like that. It start with understanding thought and will. You could think a thing all day. Ain't gonna make nothing happen of it. There's the will, meaning your will. And then there's the belief in the will. And then there's the faith in the belief. You gotta have faith in the belief and belief in the will. And the will got to do with self. Y'all don't will. Y'all kind of like hope and wish. You don't believe in the will where you say, I will be fine. Like, I will be rich next week. Y'all have no belief in the will, which is the thought that creates. Y'all can just sit and think, meaning the capabilities of the mind is to will its reality. Or it can just sit and think. These is actions of the mind, meaning the mind, when it wills something, it creates. We speaking of your mind, not the physical. Just your mind. You have a mind. Think like when you unconscious. This is the mind in thinking. The poor mind. It ain't moving or creating nothing. It's just in thought. Now I know some of y'all say, if I'm unconscious, how is my mind in thinking? I have no thoughts when I'm unconscious. Before you go unconscious, so you sit and think and don't do nothing you thinking of. So then you go into the pinnacles of thinking, which is nothing. Now, why you unconscious? Maybe you dream. This is the mind and the will. The mind and the will does not think and sit and look at its thoughts. It creates it. It experiences it. Like your dream is a thought, but you it's a will where you come into it. This carries over into the physical. When y'all think to do certain things, y'all do it. Then there's other things y'all think where y'all just sit still on it. This is the mind and thought and the mind and the will. You don't think on the things you will. You say, I'm feel like cooking something to eat. Think like this. Let's say you broke. You say, I need some food. This is the thinking mind, the impoverished mind. Let's say you got money. You don't think, I need food. You think what you about to eat. Like, I'm about to get this or that, and then you get it. It ain't no poverty in the mind space where you like, I need, like that. You have to learn the will. Like, it's hard to explain, but are y'all too far going on whatever accord y'all on? So maybe you learn manifestation, but they skipped over that part, and other parts I explained in the past. And so you get my point? You said so will is basically the action. Will is the acting thought. This is before physical. The same way in the physical, you can think and act, or you can think and sit still. Before you include the physical, the mind have those capabilities. This is how it's like that in the physical. Now, before the physical, the mind can recreate a reality. Like when y'all daydream, y'all can start thinking and then be in the thoughts. This is you daydreaming. You're not necessarily thinking, but you're in the will, meaning the mind has thought of something and made it real. And you're in it now. You call it a daydream. Or you can just sit, the mind can just sit and think and not do anything. Those powers carry over into the physical and control if y'all have poverty or not. Depending on the mind you have, is the mind in the will. Y'all have words like I can't and things like that. Like poverty on the mind that you don't see. Poverty that y'all defend that y'all don't see. It all interferes with the manifestation or the will having its way. And it's like I said, the will is with God. And most people lost in their thinking mind, not the will, where whatever the thought or the idea is, they do. You can disassociate anything that you thinking that ain't good. This have nothing to do with the will. This have to do with you lost. But hopefully y'all grasp. You said I totally grasp what you're saying. I had a dream last night and went through everything you described. Once I sat down and pondered on it, I understood the experience like you're describing. This is not about dream. This is about how your mind creates and how that creating power carries over into the physical, which makes the body do or don't. People lost in manifestation, they think it's a magic trick. If I think this thing and do nothing, it will just pop up. It have nothing to do with that. It have to do with you learning how to get the body on accord with the mind when it's in its power, which is willing, meaning when it wills something. You have free will. That will can be controlled. When the will is free, it creates. It experiences and lives out what it creates. Like that. Most of y'all will have been covered over with a false idol of some sort Whether we talking about a god, a person you admire, a symbol, whatever, your will, which is of God, has been replaced by some character, and you have belief in that. You're supposed to have belief in the will, not the will as this character, that character. Belief in the will, that whatever you will, you can do. If you believe in whatever you can do or your will, it will be done. It's when y'all don't all the way believe, then maybe y'all abandon mission, or you get my point, sloppy up, how whatever, you know. I can't say, but it's that. Learning to understand the will that you have, make sure that will is clean. That's why you have to clean out the mind. From there, you moving on the will, not the I hope, I wish, I have faith in this false idol, I believe in this false idol. There's nothing you need to believe in except your will. You don't need to believe in the truth, because the truth is the truth whether you want to acknowledge it or not. It don't need you. Yeah, you need to believe in lie, because lie have no existence without your belief, but that don't count for nothing. The lie is nothing. And truth don't need your acceptance of no sort. And that there's only one thing, that belief, which is a power. I don't want y'all to think belief ain't nothing. Belief is the most powerful thing in life. But the belief have to be in the will. It can't be in, oh, Jesus the Christ, I believe. The belief have to be in the will. The will have to do with the self. Y'all don't have belief in yourself or the will in yourself. Y'all have belief in a whole bunch of dumb stuff that have nothing to do with y'all, or someone else's will. Your friends say, man, I want to be a rapper. And you see like they believe they could do it. Here you go. Disrespecting God. This is the will. You don't believe in the will. Your owns are the next person. And this is how it is in the ghettos, or when you're dealing with the minorities. They don't understand things all the way accurately, from the mental plane of things down into the physical. They just understand things however they understand them, which is serving of the self only. Said hand-eye coordination, the will is the focus. The will is what creates. That's why I gave y'all examples with dream and things like that. The will is the mind when it have no poverty or drag on it. No counteracting thought to whatever it will. You may get an idea to do something, then you get ambushed with counteracting thought. This is the balance. You say, I'm gonna go to the store, then you get a thought that say, man, I don't feel like it though. Then you be stuck in thought. When you in the will, you say, there is no I'm saying I'm going to the store. You just act the thought. The same way in dream, you create the space and just live and act in it. Now, give me a second. I have to use the restroom. If any of you guys want to give back, y'all know what I live by. Salam. Okay, I'm back. If any of you guys want me to go more in depth on what I was just speaking of or speaking about, you can always get a one-on-one. I know a lot of y'all in the manifestations, but you're not learning anything truly. But it's all your perspective. I guess you think like everything is simple. A 2 second conversation, maybe a video you've seen, and it's not like that. You have to be on a certain path. And you get my point? There's glories on the path that you can utilize. What you said about doubt is right. Meaning, if you want to understand meditation right, just get a one-on-one. It starts with understanding poverty and wealth and how the mind can be impoverished or wealthy. And that poverty and wealth have to do with the thinking mind and the will. And the will is with God, and that's what y'all supposed to worship by respecting everything that has one. Meaning every living thing, human, animal, whatever. You respect life. And that's how you show God. God don't have no name, no title, but that's how you show the will where you stand. And you get my point? Kind of removing all the poverties from the mind. This is the doubt, the I can't, the desires. These is the things that'll put you in the negative, where you in negative wealth. But you view it as real because it seems good enough. And so, like I said, y'all can get one-on-ones. In regards to what I was explaining in the beginning with the rat and stuff and, honor and morals, if you in a false environment, there will still be honor there, but you're not going to feel right standing on the honor because the environment is not of equal measure. It feels like cheating the self. And so there's the lesson. You want to be in honorable spaces so you feel good when you have to stand on honor. Honor being the things you may not want to do, but you need to do or you have to do. It shows the merit of the character in self. Now, let's say you in the streets. The streets ain't necessarily honorable. So when it comes time for you to be honorable, you say, I don't see where it makes sense. It don't. That's why you shouldn't have been there. But you were. And so you always have to stand on honor. That honor gonna be good when you stand on it or not. And it's all dependent on the environment that you choose to be in. If the environment is dishonorable, well, you playing games with yourself because you gonna still be expected to uphold the honor. And that is best to just be in the right space. Hopefully this is clear. Dream Lavish says, so why do we self-sabotage ourselves? I do this a lot to myself. It is because I'm scared of my own potential. You just have a poor mind. Y'all think everything is the physical. So y'all say I'm physically poor. This person have. Most of the people y'all have is wealthy. They poor. Your famous star that you love so much and they got all that stuff. That stuff is the measure of their poverty or how poor they view themselves. And this is their way of showing the world, I'm not poor no more. The same way you want things to show you not poor. And this is all the pinnacles in the foundations of poor. That's how you for sure know if somebody poor. When they still trying to show I'm not through materials. If y'all didn't have a mind to show y'all weren't poor anymore, well, the rapper that let's say Drake, it costs, let's say, anywhere from 3 million to 50 million. But just say starting at 3 million to build a building, an apartment building, a nice size one, let's say 10 stories, 100 units. Drake would have like 100 of those. However many cars he however many cars and mansions he bought. And gold chains. And that y'all be real estate moguls passing those things down to y'all young. Cause people gonna be paying rent forever. But the mind don't work that way cause the mind impoverished. So he's still trying to prove he's not poor. Or impress those that are. You're not gonna impress somebody that's wealthy or wealthy minded with materials. You get my point? And so it's all a mindset. Most people self-sabotaging all these things that have nothing to do with itself. They just have to do with the mind is poor. And it's on whatever frequency or programming or cycle that it's already on. And that, you get my point? Y'all view yourselves as lessers, so lessers y'all shall be. You can look at life as simple. It's self-accountability. You not wherever you want to be in life. Because you spend your money on the things you do. You follow? Say, man, I wanted to go to the club. It costs the same amount to go to the studio and make your rap album, but until you get your priorities in order, so you have and you do what you do. You get my point? When you start doing right with whatever crumbs and pennies that you do have, it will manifest more. It wouldn't matter how much you got or how much you don't got. It just matter what you do with what you got. That's going to determine if you have more or not. And this is all going to boil you down to the mind. If the mind is impoverished, then it's looking to finance the fun. If the mind ain't impoverished, then it's looking to finance the life. This is the things you do with your day and whatever you create for yourself to have and do. When I say have, I mean in regards of your doing. So it's all mental. Slim Reaper said, I'm just now getting in tune with my willpower and I completely understand what you're saying. Once I set my mind on a goal, it's done with little to no counteracting thought as long as I put in my work. Most of y'all are looking to manifest from a impoverished perspective. Meaning if manifestation got to do with you having things, and you're poor. You get my point? It's not about fulfilling your desires, but it's about becoming fulfilled of desiring. When are y'all done wanting things so y'all can begin doing things? This is the question. To y'all, having a life is having things, not doing things. When do you start giving out whatever wisdoms that you do have, making sure it's clean and crispy and right? You're not until you finish. You get it? Getting everything you want, which ain't never gonna end. We think life is about fulfilling goals and desires. It's about getting to a place where you don't have that poverty anymore. And that you could just do the work of the will. You follow? I don't know how to explain it all away, but It's like I said, a lot of y'all just get a one-on-one, half an hour, it'll serve you. Said Drake built $100 million mansion instead. Whatever he chooses to do is what he chooses to do. But I'm just making a point. I'm not concerned with Drake. I don't know nothing about Drake. It's just a point. And so you get my. I was making a point that the more a person buys, this is tied into poverty and desire. It's reversing the physical. What y'all view as wealthy is truly poverty. And what y'all view as impoverished is poverty. What y'all view as poor is truly poor, and what y'all view as wealthy is poor too. And true wealth have nothing to do with whatever y'all have going on in the physical. True wealth have to do with an abundance and the flaws of the flesh being conquered. You know, desire, doubt, all this stupid stuff. And like I said, the doings. So imagine waking up in your mansion and not knowing where you are. That's a flex. I don't even have the mind to see where that makes sense to you. Like, wake up in your man. It's like I said, you're poor. True wealth would be a house or a space big enough for the individual, what you'd call small. And inside this small space, so you have marble floors, marble walls. The best things inside the house, because the mindset is wealthy. Chandeliers and shit in the house. The walls look like when you go down to the museum and shit. Not marbled out. The inside is kept up with the outer space. It just serves the purpose that it needs to serve. They don't have a mind of, I need a bunch of extra things that I can't do nothing with. You say you got a mansion, he wake up, he can't even know where he at. That's poor. What do you need that for? Who are you trying to prove anything to? Like that. Now the mansion probably got cheap shit in it. Cheap walls, cheap floors. Like that. When the taste and the perspective is wealthy, it have nothing to do with size. It have nothing to do with space. It have to do with quality. When the mind is wealthy, it's all about the quality of the mind. You follow? The wealthy mind is concerned with the quality of the mind and the emotional state. And that whatever they have is to serve that. A mansion that you don't know where you at, you don't know where nobody at. This is worry. See, my mansion's so big, I'm scared now because I don't know if somebody in the other room because I ain't got no means to really know. It's too big here. Like that. It's about not living for the world anymore and serving the will, which is the way. Henry the Real probably young. I think he said he wasn't though. Some people mind don't ever mature. He said your understanding is unreal right now. Some people are a little slow. It's like I said in the beginning. The 30-year-old gangbanger more than likely was 15 years old in the 7th grade. Meaning he got left back, he's behind. You don't have to trip about it. Just understand everybody's where they at in life. Dean said there's nothing wrong with showing how wealthy you've become after if you've been at the bottom for so long. Nobody said that here. This is not a discussion of if you should floss or not. It's a discussion about the mind being poor and the mind not being poor. Your mind is poor because you're still trying to prove I'm not a bum anymore. So you said there's nothing wrong with showing how wealthy you've become after you've been at the bottom so long. So it go back to what I said in the beginning. You feel like a bum, or whoever this wealthy person is that you have in mind. And this is the way that they show they're not a bum anymore. And that's going to continue until they don't feel like they're a bum anymore. It could continue till they die. But do you get my point? The will. Said, see, Solace, I grew up in the hood in Brooklyn. I told my friends that trying to use the force stuff is real. Y'all weird. My niggas is lost on. I don't even know the name of the movie anymore. I'm tapped in, so I don't know nothing about Babylon no more. I forget. What's the name of the movie with Darth Vader in the Force? I don't know. I'm not intrigued by fake anymore. But the will is real, and the power of the will is the belief. Meaning you're supposed to have belief in the will. Y'all have belief in stories and made up stuff. Meaning the power is wasted on nothing instead of the will of self or the will of a nothing. Cody said, oh, solace is simple for me. I'm on that path, but I lack in decoding bad people. A lot of y'all have just accepted that you're poor and you're confusing that with having a wealthy mind. And so you have ideals and morals that have to do with you accepting the bottom of the barrel shit. It has nothing to do with that. You get my point? It has to do with after you fulfill your desires, I suppose, and you learn a thing maybe. I'm not sure. But the mind is a tricky thing, meaning to get a one-on-one, a lot of y'all need it. Cody said, how much is a one-on-one? Visit my website. It's not that expensive to me, to you too. To you too, I would hope. You know, it should be about $1,500 per session if you're listening to what I'm explaining. But it's not. It's on discount right now because I'm dealing with a poor mind. I'm just right. I'm dealing with poor-minded people, so a poor mind can't only afford what he can. It doesn't matter if you're here wealthy physically, your mind is poor, so you can only afford what you can. But the point I'm making is, go to my website, shop part, one-on-one is there. Purchase one and kind of learn, put yourself on a schedule of some sort, maybe, where you could tap in once a week, maybe twice a week. That way you could stay on the path. And that I can get you little breathing exercises, stretching exercises, and other things that go with, you know, understanding the self and getting the best out of the self that you can. Understanding what best is. Like I said, some people think like debt is good. They're living a life right now. They are hundreds and thousands of dollars in debt and paying it off, but in their brain, they're living the life. So it's all where the mind is. The mind is impoverished. It's going to be what it be. Dean said Lamborghini doors and make you think about suicide. I don't know how people get poor like that. I've never been that way. Where I think like material items mean something. Y'all are what y'all are. In that, let's say like you, Dean, if you get a Lamborghini, you gonna bring the value of a Lamborghini down, and the people that the Lamborghini was truly made for, they're not gonna be rocking Lamborghinis no more because you a bum. It's the same with Rolexes. Rolexes is a prestigious thing for men that wear suits and wear shirts with cufflinks, and maybe they stretch that arm out to reach to get something in the rollie show. And that's all that's for. Nothing else. Other than that, it's covered by the sleeve lightly. You get my point? Same with cologne. Cologne is for like men like that. They dress a certain way and they're in certain environments. Now, when the dirty hood nigga realized a Rolex ain't that expensive, it's only about 6, 7 grand for the bottom of the barrel one, but it's still good enough if you don't know no better in the different names. Then they buy it. Then Rolex loses value now, because those with splendor say, I ain't wearing no Rolex, all the bums be wearing Rolexes. It's like if the Mexican pull up with the new Jordans on y'all wear, y'all like, we not wearing these no more. What the fuck? Shit look crazy. Y'all like that. Y'all the poor bringing the value of things down, but have no understanding of these things. And that, you get my point? You talking about things that you can only bring the value of it down. It don't raise your value. You just bring the value of it down. Now, I'm sure that's heartbreaking. Let's say you a bum, you breaking your neck to try to. I'm sure it's heartbreaking. But, so there's the truth of the matter. If you're looking just from the self perspective, then you dope. If you're looking for the perspective of somebody that already been there and they view you as a bum because you do have a bum mind, well, then you're going to bring the value down. This has nothing to do with where you from or what you have. You could be poor your whole life but have a wealthy mind. You come into the wealth, you have the wealthy things. The wealthy don't look at you as bringing the value down. You could be sloppy and bummy and have no etiquette whatsoever. Then you're just going to bring the value down of everything. You can take the splendor away from anything you get your hands on. This is why self-perfection needs to be the goal. That way, any glories you get that are physical, they still hold no merit to the self. And got on a big ass gold chain, it should hold no merit to who you are. You just bring value to it. And every material item should be like that for you. Where you bring glory to it. I still got the change from when I was a little kid. And earrings and shit like that. I'm just not there. Like, they bring the value down. You get my point? But it's all a perspective, like how you see self. And so you get my point? Y'all see self poor, y'all listen to poor minds. And then you get my point? Y'all are not becoming wealthy, y'all are becoming more poor, and y'all are paying for that poverty as opposed to getting the mind truly wealthy. Where the mind see the self itself as a wealth. In that, certain wealth shall say like, that shit gonna bring my worth down. I clash with my own glory, like. And so you get my point? But it's not about not having anything. Meaning y'all kind of lost in the side. So maybe you taking what I'm saying wrong. Because your mind is bound to a side. And that you don't get the overall point. You said I'd rather be hood rich. You got rich junkies in life. Maybe you get to a place where you realize the rich and poor have nothing to do with living life and the fabric or the quality of the life. Right now you just poor, so you making everything money. If you look back at all your comments, if someone wanted to know if you was poor, once you open your mouth, you show how poor you are. Meaning, I know you poor. You probably don't even have a nice outfit. And this is not an insult to you. This is so you could see how your words tell more about you than you could fathom. You one of them dusty dudes that don't never have much. And it scar you to the point where everything out your mouth have to do with like hood rich, this thing, that thing, things you don't have or even having access to. And this is what make you poor. Meaning, if you poor, that's why you think poor is wealth, and so poor is what you get. When you get the mind straightened out, whatever things of wealth you view as like wealth will be easy for you to acquire. But maybe you don't want them things anymore because your mind is elsewhere. It all depends on the quality of the mind. And so, you get a one-on-one. Henry the Real said, what is the message that you have for women? Okay, I'll get to that after this. Lorenzo Buke said, I've noticed our willpower is strong when we were kids and seems like it naturally keeps fading as Babylon stripped our innocence away by day, teaching us all these systematics. Yeah, that's what the Babylon do. They replace the will with a false idol or God, and then it redirects the belief of self, that power, to that thing. And that y'all believe in nothing, nothing comes of nothing, and do you get it? Y'all not explain like, okay, forget this world. You, and God is in you. It's the will, like, and you have to believe in that. The kids say, I don't know what you mean. Then you just tell them. You have to believe in yourself and whatever you want to do. You have to know you could do it. There's nothing in your way for you to do nothing. You just do, like, and from there you get it, the kid get it. If I get a thought or idea and it's good, just do. I don't have to wait around like a impoverished person waiting for somebody to give me a notoriety or tell me good job. They just moving on the wheel and they creating. And you get my point? They get to live what they create. Meaning whatever they create, whatever comes with it comes with it. And they get to live that out. Or y'all could be lost in the systematics where y'all idolize people and y'all belief is in that. Or maybe you get a belief system and you believe in that. And you wait for fake promises that you gonna get when you die. When you're dealing with real God, you don't have to wait till you die to receive. You could receive in death, in life, anytime. Ain't no limits on that. And so you get it? Y'all just have to grasp. I'm done with you, Dean. You a little slow, my boy, but hopefully you get it together. And so when you're dealing with manifestation in anything concerning the highest self, it starts with understanding the mind, and the mind being impoverished or the mind being wealthy. From there, the emotional state will be impoverished or wealthy. And then in the physical, it wouldn't matter so much because that's all perspective. Y'all not living out y'all reality. Y'all living out y'all perspective of what y'all think reality should be. Some of y'all not poor, but you stay desiring shit. You're never satisfied with what you got. You complaining like your life is fucked up and it's not. But it's fucked up because you're greedy. You're lost into desiring. You forgot gratitude. And this is where you suffer. This is where you become poor. Where you have a lot, but you still have the poor mind where you desire more and more and more. In that, you get it? You always find yourself in a space where you're in need. And the needing mind is the poor mind. The wanting mind is the poor mind. You put yourself in that predicament where you want and desire things that you can't get in the moment, then you put poverty on the mind. This is when the mind becomes thirsty. When it want, like a thirsty addict. And this is where y'all start to do things against y'all morals to get. And this is what poverty is. When you never satisfied. You follow? It's almost like a drug addict or drug abuse. How much damn crack do you need to smoke before you done? Like that. How much shit do you need before you fulfilled your desires? And so you get my point? A person can be poor beyond the physical. A poor in death, still yearning and wanting things from the physical. And they done transcend past them realms. And this is how souls become lost. If you ever heard anything like that, lost souls, and they lost on the physical, they lost on what passed already. The same way some of y'all hold on to y'all past and the traumas of it, and them time passed already, and you live in the hell of it, even though your reality ain't got nothing to do with that no more. That's why I say you could be good and fucked up at the same time. Physical life and physical wealth is all perspective. And that perspective is based on how poor you are in the mind. And so you get my point? When you get to a place where the mind is wealthy, you could never be poor, even if, let's say, you don't have nothing. You will never be poor to you because you move on the wheel and whatever you want is yours. What's to stop it? I'm asking y'all because I don't know. What's to stop it? I say I want to get a $1.8 million property that I want to turn into a Solace sanctuary. Nothing could stop that unless I'm not all the way sure that I want to do that. You follow? And that's it. Outside of that, what could stop it? And this is the same with anything y'all want to do, no matter how extreme it may be. It's only extreme because the mind view it that way. Other than that, what's extreme about it? Some of y'all say, nah, that is extreme. A 1.8 million. If 1,000 of y'all gave $1,000, that's $1,000,000 right there. And that could happen right now. More than 1,000 people come to my channel. Let's say 1,000 people see this video. Tomorrow I could have 1,000,000 and be telling y'all, yo, we gonna go get that this weekend. And we still got an $800,000 debt. But it ain't no debt because we gonna get that off like we did the million. Like, you get my point? It's all in the will and how the mind see it. You get my point? And some of y'all say, I ain't got $1,000. It's all on the mind. You gonna run through $1,000 and waste $1,000 a lot of times from right now to the end of your life. But maybe you view that as a waste. Let's say it is. Again, you gonna waste thousands of dollars from now till you die. It's all on the mind. You get my point? Now, do it to something personal to self that don't got nothing to do with nobody else. Then it's all on you. How sure you are you want to do the thing, and if the mind got doubts and things in it, or if the mind fully understands there's nothing that I can't do. The only bad thing is not doing anything. There's no trying to do something. There's no I can't do something, or this is gonna get in the way. I don't look right enough to do. There's none of that. There's just the will of what you want to do and the doing it. And whatever you need will be applied to you by the will. You follow? Say, I ain't got no money right now. How am I going to get that done? It's going to get done when you remove all the doubt and the how and I can't out the mind and believe in the will, which is of God. You can't doubt God in the workings of life. If I'm lying, when y'all ever got let down on the knee? Who could sit here in ungrateful tongue and say, I got let down while still being here, not all the way let down? You starved before? That's your greed. If you starved, you'd be dead. You did not eat till you died. You just didn't eat for however long you did. But that's all a result of your greed. It don't have nothing to do with you being let down of anything. If anything, it have to do with your own impoverished mind, and that's why that happened. Outside of that, there is no need or want that y'all have that ain't fulfilled already. It's not even a thought of will it happen. It can't not happen. It can just take long to happen. It can transcend into something ugly or spoil out like milk. But whatever y'all want in the will of the mind is what it would be. You're not believing is a will. I want to do this or that, but I don't think it's going to happen. That will is powerful. That I don't think it's going to happen part. And so that's what y'all get. And so everything is as simple as that, the belief in the will. And so that's why I always tell y'all, let's do this, let's do that. You don't want to support my Solace sanctuary? Well, what you got going? Let's get to that. There's so much to do. Y'all just want to sit around and listen. There's much to do. What y'all want to do? That part. I want to give to nothing. Then say we got scammed and this is enough for y'all. You follow? Meaning y'all been put on a low vibration. So just to show somebody else is low or did you wrong is sufficient. But it's not. You get my point? Y'all say Umar Johnson scammed us out of millions and never got to school. That's not good enough. You get my point? Y'all supposed to have the school. Y'all having the school ain't dependent on no one person. Do you see my point? And so it's all the poverty of self. And when you're dealing with the minorities, we got a lot of poverty on us. This poverty was forced on us. The poverty come with the environment. And that's how we learn the poverty. From being in the place. It's just like if you go to jail, it don't matter rich or poor, you're going to pick up the ideals and the ways of an inmate. And that's what's going to reflect off you when you first get out until you transcend them ways if you can. And so you get it? It's all psychological. Have y'all given back? Because I have not checked. And I don't want y'all to overlook those things. You know, I am working. Let's say you come in here and you got an ungrateful mind. So maybe you look at what I do as not work. But if you rewind back and you really listen to what I'm saying, man, this is the stuff that y'all can't afford. You got people teaching this, probably not even as detailed as I am. But they ain't dealing with the poor. They ain't dealing with nobody that can't afford. And because they got that small error in their way, it take away from a great deal of their understanding. And I deal with the poor and the wealthy. And that, you get it? The understanding is better. They charge more, but the understanding here is better. It's fair. And so, the cost is fair. The cost being, keep up with yourself and make sure you give back on your own. When you receive the jewels, well, ain't no door shut on you. You can receive the jewels whether you got money or not. Keep account of yourself. It's not much to ask. And so you get it? That's how everything in life supposed to go. You got a farm, y'all come eat, man. Don't just be starving because you ain't got shit. But when you get, put back into what you took so this could keep going. Life is a balance. It's not a take, and you get my point? Go elsewhere. It's a pay it forward and backwards. And, once y'all understand the balance of give and receive, this have nothing to do with me. This have to do with nature and, God, the will. The will move on that same thing. Request and receive. Look at God as the great answerer of of begging. Not begging, but people want things. God is the great answerer, but God only have existence when y'all want stuff. So when you have a need, so God have an existence, and this is why you get what you get. You put a seed into dirt. The dirt ain't nothing. Nobody care about no dirt. But dirt get its glory in that moment. So dirt give you something back. So you keep so dirt have some existence. Otherwise y'all wouldn't care about dirt. But because y'all know y'all can plant seed in it and get something back, then dirt have honor. It's the balance. You get my point? You give to the dirt, so the dirt have to give you something back. Because you make the dirt have a purpose. And that's how everything go in life. It's a balance, a give and receive thing. Receiving is sometimes the giving, and giving is sometimes the receiving. They go twofold. Meaning when y'all give, y'all receive. Light, a glory, a thank you. The more appreciative the person is, the greater the light. That's received from the giving light. And of course, you will receive back regardless from that, but just that. So you like the dirt. You get my point? You give somebody something and you get a great deal of honor for it. Like the dirt when the harvest comes in. The dirt more important than the harvest. And so it's all perspective. It's all understanding. More than that, it's all about understanding life and how life has to be preserved and upheld because we are the micro units of life that make up for the whole life. The place we in ain't alive. We alive. And we make the place living. Or we make it dead. And so you get it? You have to get the mind off money and get the mind more on experience, activity, and doings. Y'all don't need money for that. Maybe y'all need money to add to that. But that should be the only thing. You get my point? When I think of a solid sanctuary, I'm not thinking like business and me earning money, but I'm thinking of something for me to do every day that serve a purpose. Give others a purpose and something to do. And that kids could come and learn, and you get my point? Keep the mind from scrambling out. Because Babylon gonna scramble y'all mind out. So all you got is lie and stupidity in it. And so maybe y'all grasp, maybe y'all don't. Peace and wisdom, Tori and Howard. Become a channel member if you're not. I post a lot of things, you know. Most of my videos are private for members only, so become a channel member. Like I said, when everyone starts giving back, or the bulk, you know, at least half and half, I suppose. Then I'll open the channel up and, you know, y'all can do what y'all do. Dream Lavish said basically like how I'm going to make you rich when I become a star. Just like that, my boy. Now you get it. Now the mind is working. And anything you need to become this star, you let me know. Because I'm attached in on the glory now. You're going to be held to them words, champ. Meaning you don't need to like run away from the thought no more. You don't need to go into what if I make it and I have to owe him. You gonna pay what you owe. You gonna be rich, nigga, and a star like you just said. And everybody here believe you, nigga. And we holding you to what you said. And so I say it's gonna happen by next week. I don't know about everybody else, but I'm thinking then. When you think it's gonna happen. So the happenings so these happenings can happen. Let me know. Cause I don't doubt anything. It's all real. You gonna get the doubt or you gonna get the thing? Like, which one you want? He said, I will enroll for your school when you started. It's not a school, it's more like a sanctuary where y'all can come and learn how to grow food hands on, starting with the dirt, like how to make dirt from scratch, not going to buy it, but how to make dirt from scratch. I teach y'all pollination. A lot of people, they show y'all how to plant and grow in their videos, but there's no pollination happening in that environment. Let's say you indoor growing, you forgot all about pollination, meaning pollen. When do you add the pollen into the mix? And so like that, teach y'all everything from scratch, understanding the seeds, and you get it? How to properly germinate them. And I want to have a section where y'all learn poisonous plants because this is where the medicines truly are. Meaning, when you dilute the poisonous plants, they make for the most potent medicines. Think of the medicine you take now. If you take too much of it, you'll die. So that means it's poisonous. Again, your medicine that you take now, whether it's pharmaceutical or natural, if you take too much of it, you'll die. If you take too much of that DMT, you're not coming back like that. It's already poisonous. Y'all just don't understand that. And so if you dilute poisons like poison ivy cure herpes, you just have to know how to dilute it and give the person proper doses. It's just like snake venom. It's a medicine. It's just really strong, but if you give a person micro doses of snake venom, it will build up their immune system from fighting the snake venom. In that, anything less than snake venom ain't gonna have no effect on them. A little common cold ain't gonna never do nothing to them. Their immune system used to fighting snake venom. Do you get it? Like that. And most poisonous plants will kill off whatever disease and virus cells y'all have. Don't think poison don't do nothing to them either. And so you gotta understand things like you can poison the poison in you. It just depends on if the poison's stronger than you or if you stronger than the poison that got you. And that you can take poison stronger than that poison and get rid of that poison without having any after effect. Because poisonous plants don't have addiction like drug plants. Drug plants is natural medicine, but they all come with addiction. And that, if I hear you with the coca plant, the poppy plant, any drug plant you could think of, there's going to be the addiction to follow. Poisonous plants don't carry addiction. What are you getting addicted to? That part. It just heal a disease, but it's dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. But I want to do a section like that where y'all kind of learn poisonous plants, being as though in the USA, medicinal plants or the natural drug plants are all illegal. That means somebody that's a holistic healer, your Dr. Sebi's and all these people, well, rest in peace, Dr. Sebi, but his people and all the other holistic healers y'all have online, which are supposed to be healing y'all with natural medicines, they're healing y'all with fruit plants and vegetable plants because they have no access to the medicinal plants. They're all illegal in the United States. In that, they're convincing y'all that fruit and vegetable plants can do what the medicinal plants can do, and it can't. It's just not going to do nothing to you. So you're not going to be able to do nothing. Like, you can't say, I let this holistic healer heal me, but nothing actually happened. Meaning I didn't get sick from whatever they did, but I didn't get better either. Like that. It's like I tell you, man, I could heal you of your sickness, just eat this apple. The apple ain't gonna do nothing to you one way or another. But the real cure to your sickness is one of these drug plants, like the poppy plant, coca plant, any plant you could think of that is labeled as a street drug or street drugs come from it. Any of those plants, which are the medicinal plants that are for curing diseases and things, we ain't got no access to those. They're illegal. They want y'all to go to the pharmaceuticals. A pharmaceutical is where you use chemicals to heal people, basically poison them. so they could keep having to come back to you. Y'all don't have no sickness. Y'all made to be sick because sickness is the biggest money maker on the planet. Again, ain't none of y'all really sick. Why you ain't dead then? And no, Solace, I'm really sick. I got diabetes. Why you ain't dropped dead already then? That part. You don't got shit. You got nigga making you sick so they can keep getting that money because every time you need that diabetes insulin, that shit costs money. Like, I don't even know how much. But I know insulin got a nice fee to it, and if you the seller of it, man, y'all getting well will cause niggas to go in extreme poverty. Y'all gonna stay sick. That's how it work in Babylon. Y'all gonna stay sick because if y'all don't, then Babylon gonna go into extreme poverty. What the hell do America make money off of besides their drugs, their poisons, the pharmaceuticals? Nothing. Ain't got no oil or shit. They're just poison. They just keep their people poisoned out. And you get my point? They gonna keep buying medicine and they gonna keep eating that way. And so I say it again, ain't none of y'all sick. Y'all made to be sick. Otherwise, you tell me where the first sickness came from. That part. You got AIDS? Okay. You got it from another person? Where'd the first person get it from? You can't say they fucked a monkey. Okay, where the monkey got it from then? That part. Somebody gave it to somebody and they spread it from species to species or whatever you want to call it. But ain't no disease just pop up out of nowhere. Do you get my point? I'm saying that so y'all could grasp whatever sickness y'all have, it's been made. Y'all watch them create COVID. Now it's a real sickness. Like, it's deep. They have hurricanes every year at the same time. When did hurricanes get on a schedule? Was it hurricane, whatever hurricane is now, wasn't there one last year at the same time? Again, when did hurricanes become like on some schedule, like the calendar? How that happen? That part. Y'all put on sickness, everything is put into play to keep y'all sick and dumb because ain't no more money than health and curing stupidity, man. Y'all seeking to cure y'all stupidity and whatever health problems y'all got. Y'all not being stupid, y'all are made dumb. They're filled up with lie all day. And y'all ain't sick, y'all made to be sick. Y'all filled up with fake shit all day. But you get it? It's all simple. Peace and wisdom, hat gang. So did I hear about Hurricane Melissa? Champ, I'm off the cycle. That's the point I'm explaining it to y'all. Next year they're gonna have Hurricane Jackie at the same time. I don't have time. Like, I'm there in life. I'm done with Babylon. It's stupid. Mentally, I have nothing to do with Babylon, and I wouldn't care nothing about what anybody in Babylon talking about. It's just stupid. It's just one of the stupid cycles that never end. Whatever y'all complaining about is just a never-ending thing that always been, and it's always gonna be until you tired of like being bothered with it. Sad business. I have a lot of work to do. Dean said, will you be teaching sex education on your sanctuary? I'm not a pervert. I'm just curious. But even if you're not teaching it, I'm still down to live. On my sanctuary, I'm not planning on being the person that teach y'all farming. I'm just going to give whoever is the teacher of the farming my insight on things like poisonous plants and all these other things that they probably don't know. And they can add that to their arsenal. And you get it? Fulfill whatever the glory is. And I don't plan on having nothing to do with that part. Maybe I'll come over there to get me some shit, but you get it? Whoever run that part, that's their part. I don't got nothing to do with that. That's why I need enough space so people got, whoever's teaching, they don't have to be worrying about like I ain't gotta pay my rent and my light. That all come with the sanctuary. You gonna live in whatever part you teaching, and you can come and go as you want. And you should be able to teach in peace, like, and enjoy your time in peace after that. And you will be compensated for your work. I suppose it's free for children, 22 and under. Everybody else, you can come for free if you want to stay overnight. I'll have somewhere where you could like rent like a cabin of some sort, and you get it. If you want the farmer or the teacher that's handling that to teach you like a whole course of understanding, well, pay them whatever their fee is, and you get it. And the same with the building side of the sanctuary. You want to come learn how to build from scratch without all the Babylonian rules and regulations. Come learn how to build from scratch, from making brick out of mud, like that, all the way scratch. And you get my point? You want to learn how to make clothing? You start with the plants and understanding the, man, I gotta pee. Understanding the plant fibers and how they're spun into thread. And from there, you get it. Thread is dyed and weaved in the fabric, and then that fabric is made into jeans, shirt, jacket, whatever. And you get it. A place to fish there if you want to come learn how to fish, hunt, whatever the case may be. A sanctuary, a place where you could come and say, I don't want to have a thought of Babylon, period. I just want to go fish, and I ain't got to be fly, nothing. Just do me. Like, everybody there is on the level. You get it? None of the stereotypes and the dumb judgments and all of that. The people worth in their mind and what they got to offer, spiritually and mentally. Not all that other dumb poverty stuff where you're trying to prove you're not poor. You come there, learn, and you get my point. Journey well from there. There you go. Give and receive it, the first law. TJ Create said, I want to be that person. Well, then get involved. Y'all think this is Dr. Umar Johnson or the other people that come to y'all for assistance? I already said y'all could. If you got skills at raising money, well, can you come and take that part of this over? I do wisdom. I don't got time for the small stuff. You feel me? I can't do everything. If you know how to farm and you like, damn, that sounds like something that'd be great for me. Get involved. Help me get the money up. I'm sure you got some ideas of something. You get my point? Like that. If you know how to build, let's say you good at electricity, then you could work for like showing people how to like get their lights and their electricity started using like the environment around them. You don't have to have all those skills. I have those skills. Like the natural shit. You just need to know what you know. Like, say, I know all the Babylon shit in regards to like electrically wiring a house. That's good enough. I know some shit you don't know. It don't have nothing to do with Babylon and all the rules and things you have to work in between. From there, you'll be fulfilled. You know Babylon way and you know like the natural environment way. Y'all can generate energy, like have your house have energy from air and a fan. A fan moving is generating energy. You just have no means to like take the energy from it and direct it somewhere else. Y'all think it's harder than it is. It's easy. They want y'all to be dumb. The less y'all could do for self, the more y'all have to depend on the Babylon. I'm trying to get y'all out of that. You don't have to pay a mortgage for 30 years if you could build your own joint and get it all going like everything they got in Babylon. And so it's a deep thing. You said you're good at organizing. Those of y'all that are serious and of a certain age, and you like the idea, you can join me in getting this done. I have the wisdom, y'all have whatever talents y'all have, and you get my point. I can direct the people to you. Say they handling the raising the money thing. If you have any questions before you donate or whatever, you go talk to them. I make sure they know everything about what's going to be, and you get my point. From there, smooth sailings. It's really not a long process. It's all on how I dedicated those that's going to work the space and be a part of the thing. It's all on how dedicated they are. Outside of that, teaching, I already do that. Whether in a sanctuary, online, in person, on a one on one conference call, I've already manifested my reality and it can go with me wherever I choose to go. So you get it? You have to position yourselves in this life, whatever you think will make a purpose life. But if you're good at organizing things, email upscaleknowledge@gmail.com or whatever you're good at, and I can give you the whole breakdown of things. And from there, we can get things in order. Peace and wisdom, fairy. I work with wood. You're a channel member. I'm already familiar with you from years, so you already know if you're a channel member here, you got first dibs, especially if you got a lot of time learning from me. Y'all got first dibs to like, you get my point? I don't want y'all to look at it like my thing. It's for all of us, and all that's involved can, generate some generational wealth because I don't just have that as the plan. Meaning my mind ain't small. Whatever I tell you, there's a whole bunch of other deep shit that I'm not mentioning, but that's for when you locked in. Outside of that, it ain't just about a sanctuary. It's about creating generational wealth and some other things. But focus on the one thing before you get to the next. Now, I done wasted so much time. Let me use the restroom right quick. Anyone wants to give back, you can do so. In regards to the land and raising money for that, like I said, I need somebody to kind of work that part and really get to that yet. Apologies, I'm back. Now, in regards to this Solace sanctuary, I'm going to be doing the wisdom, the self perfection, the self growth stuff. Those kind of things. I want to focus on that. You get my point? But I'll be interacting with like all the other things. You get my point? From there, it'd be something to do. So it's being spoken out into existence now. It manifests when it is. Manifestation is outside of time and space. It drops in when it wants, whenever you want it to. And so, it's a deep thing. Now, let me explain the woman part. What else did I say I was going to explain? It don't feel like I actually got to. Nothing. But some deep things was discussed. I don't think I touched on anything in the topic. But to the women thing, and this is not for any women to get offended. This is just for those of y'all that have children, and maybe you separated from the father and y'all have y'all little quarrels. This is just to help you get along in that. When you're dealing with women who did not have a father figure that raised them, they seek that out of their spouse subconsciously. It's all psychologically. So let's say you were a woman, you didn't have a father, or you wasn't raised with one. Subconsciously, you don't realize it, but when you seek a spouse, you become a baby, and you start like you're seeking a father. This is all subconsciously. You probably don't realize it. In that, if you and the man break up, you become the kid that interferes with the actual kid receiving their support. When you listen to women complaining about their baby daddy, it's always about them receiving, not the kid so much. Not the spending of the time with the kid, but them receiving, and it's because of that. Subconsciously, they're still seeking a father or somebody to take care of or make up for whatever they feel they lost out on. And it becomes something that's taken out on the baby daddy. And this is all psychological, meaning most women don't realize this. But here's an example. If you're a woman, if a man gives you monthly support, whatever support, do you match that support and put it to the side for the child? Or do you use the support that was given to you for the child for your own self, your bills, your own grown-up expenses that you would have regardless if you had a child? That part. You don't match what's given to you and put it to the side for the child. You use the child's money and you limit their childhood, and then you go into bickering at the man. That's not just. And you're doing that because it's like I said, subconsciously, you're a child still, and now he's your daddy. And whatever you missed out on with your daddy, you're kind of taking it out on him in that moment when he breaks up with you. You view it like your daddy breaking up with you. And that when he comes and does whatever he does for the child, you're interfering because you're not included. Meaning subconsciously, you think you that man's child. And when you do that, you interfere with the child receiving and getting everything they're supposed to. And that's a big problem when you're dealing with the minorities. You get my point? You have a lot of people, not just child things, like parenting things, but in y'all lives, period, y'all still trying to make up for things y'all lacked when y'all was a child. Or the perspective of you lacking. Because it's all perspective. Meaning I didn't grow up with my father, but I didn't view it as I didn't have one or I was lacking a father. That nigga was in jail, right? And he couldn't do nothing. But I know who he is. He know who I am. In that, I never looked at it like I was lacking a father. I have a father. Just circumstances. That nigga was in jail. It's unfortunate for him, not me. And you get my point? It's all a perspective. If you have a perspective like my dad wasn't there and I didn't get to get all of this and that, that's going to carry with you. You got men that do that. Your little baby, your mommy baby you, Now when you get with this new woman, you want her to be your mommy. Where she got to be bickering with you like, go get a job and get up and do something for yourself. I'm not your fucking mother. He's still trying to seek a mother or something like that. Or whatever he think he missed out on his childhood. It carries beyond the children, but I'm focusing on the children because a lot of children are getting shortchanged in their childhood. Their bitterness is directed in the wrong way, or their perspective is in the wrong way, and it carries on. You get my point? The issue. And so, if you're a woman, just be mindful of that. It's not about you beating yourself down and feeling like, well, but I, blah, blah, blah. Just correct the wrongs wherever you see them or is brought to your attention. Outside of that, you get my point? Ain't no real problems in life. There's just the problems that we create from the perspective being unbalanced. If most of y'all do that with yourself and say, okay, I have this problem, but if my perspective was more fair, would I even have it? Most of y'all will see, like, yeah, I wouldn't. And so if you're a woman, be mindful of if you're taken away from your kid's childhood because you keep bickering like you are the child. It shouldn't be he doesn't give me money. It should be the child. How many times y'all have heard that? He doesn't give me money. Forgot all about the child. And so you get it? You don't want to be that woman where you telling on yourself, where you make it clear you're not concerned with the child. You feel like the child is an extension of you. And whatever the child gets needs to be funneled through you. And that the child ain't getting everything they supposed to get because you are the funnel. And you're taking, but you're not necessarily adding to what's given for the child. You're taking from that and maybe replace it whenever you do, and you're just doing whatever you want. And life don't work that way. The point I'm making is a lot of women are losing their sense of balance. And it started from when they were young. They didn't have both parents, and the imbalance started there. And the mindset became imbalanced. In that, most of y'all don't understand the importance of a father. It's way beyond money. Men have experiences y'all would never understand, and these experiences got to be given to the children. They gonna live out the jewels, not the toys and shit y'all buy them. The toys and shit y'all buy them is to keep them idle in their kid time. But the things y'all have to focus on is the jewels they receiving, because that's what they gonna live out when they grown. They not gonna be living out the toy you bought them. They not gonna be living out the, oh, I spoiled my kid. They gonna be living out whatever jewels you gave them. And when you come to the blacks, we have no jewels. We have dumb talks. I was spoiled as a kid, or I was a bum and ain't had nothing. And you get my point? It's just about making things better. Like I said, this ain't about all that arguing. Any woman feel like they got something that they want to say, you don't have to make it a counter to this. You can just say it like how I'm saying what I'm saying. It's not directed at nobody. It's just what I see happening in life, and you get my point? The kids are suffering from it. There's too many unbalanced perspectives. None of them truly serving the kids. It's just serving the adults. Fake reputations. How many women like this? The father of your kids went to jail, let's say 10 years, 5 years, more. Because you from the ghetto and so sloppy minded, he's never held accountable for not having done anything for his kids for 10 years. You tell the kids how honorable and cool a father is, and you get it? And you got fathers that's out here getting thrown under the bus that ain't been in jail for no 10 years or none of that. And this is the backwards mindset when you go into the ghettos, when you're dealing with the minorities. Y'all see it now because y'all be like, why y'all giving praise to these jailbird niggas? That happens all the way in a household with children being raised. You have a whole jailbird did 10 years or so not doing nothing for his kid with his chest out. Because the woman gave him praise. And so you get my point. If you are a woman, you have to balance all those things out. You have the proper self-respect. And you get my point? Everything will make sense when you make sense. And that's for the man too on the flip side. For those of y'all that's like little boys and little babies. As a man, you gotta take on the bulk of the work. Meaning if you with a woman, you shouldn't be trying to leave her because you don't wanna take care of your responsibilities. The only reason I would say a man have right or a woman have right to leave is if the situation is gonna become volatile. Or y'all gonna be bringing each other down in the presence of the kids. Y'all should both be adults and say, listen, we gotta chill on the, you know? But we still have our duties to do, and you get my point. There should be no psychological games from either party where you playing on certain things because you know you're a little mad. It should just be kept all good for the kid can get the proper upbringing they need and have a good balanced mind and a good balanced perspective that's going to serve them better than their lopsided mind. Their lopsided mind going to make them crash out or be bitter and angry off of things that ain't even fair anyway. And so you get my point? Little details. Like I said, if you're a woman and you're guilty of these things, there's no need to beat yourself up. Everybody growing. I'm older, so y'all like little kids to me. And that I ain't gonna beat you down for no mistakes you make. You're a kid, you gotta grow. Even when you're 30 years old, you still growing. Like, you gotta find your way. But you don't want to be overlooking your error when it's brought to, your attention. You want to be mature enough and, on the up and up to where you can make whatever adjustments you need to make. Jimmy Infinity said, one of my sisters is like that, and she had both parents. Now, maybe the one parent, you do have that. Like, maybe the one parent is kind of undermining the other. In that, the perspective still gonna come out the same. Some of y'all, if you a woman, some women do this. They will bash the father of the kid to the kid in their moments of anger, and they overlook how that makes the kid view the father as an opposition. In that, when the kid needs help, they don't come to the father because they're plagued by how the mother speaks of the father. And you get my point? They kind of go about things in a sloppy way because they're plagued by that, where they kind of look at the father as a competition. They don't want to look bummy or in need to the father overlooking. That's my father. I'm supposed to be fucked up and go to my father, but your mother did what she did, and it fucked up your perspective. And that, do you get my point? The kids ain't being done right. They not getting all they can get out of life because of, little mental imbalances on both parts, you could say. But things like that. When you're a woman, you have to start to take responsibility and accountability of the things you're doing. Because it's more of the women than the men. And I'm not being unfair because I'm a man. From my experiences, I don't know no man that duck and run away from their kids. I only know the opposite, where y'all have y'all moments of anger and then y'all start acting weird and unfair and trying to block the man. Like, and most of y'all the same. You don't really have no experience where you could say, no, I seen this nigga avoid his kids to go fuck this girl. That's not usually what happens. It's usually the opposite, where you like, yeah, she a little crazy, man. And because they not together, you get my point. She got leverage. She kind of be doing the most sometimes. And it's just going to make him go that route regardless. Or it's going to make him go that route because she got the leverage. See, most women don't look at it like this. When the man break up with you, did he challenge you keeping the kid? Because he could have. And maybe he was taking care of you so you wouldn't have won. Like that. You're not thankful for that. You're not thankful for anything being done. The heart has went into a bitterness. In that, do you get my point? Or bring yourself down. Worse than that, bring the kid down. Jimmy Infinity, that happens a lot. Most kids, they grow into whatever they criticize in their own parents. And it's because they're not supposed to criticize their parents. They're not one. So you don't know what you're talking about. But when you lose your place, like your perspective, so y'all make for your own error. Meaning if you were a kid and you criticizing your parents, it's more likely you're gonna grow up to do all the things you criticize and worse. But it's because the perspective that you had was errored then. Meaning you had an error perspective where you thought you was the parent. And that there was no growth from that moment all the way to when you had your own kid. You still had the kid mind because you never became aware to say, well, when I had that perspective as a youngster, I wasn't even supposed to have that. That wasn't my place. And that you still have that outer place perspective that you did as a kid because it never was checked. Where somebody told you that ain't your place to ever say what your parents should do. It's their decision. When you make the decision of what they should do and shouldn't do, then where's the disciplining you part come in? You get it? Let's say you a kid and you say, man, my parents should give me this and that and that. What if they discipline you by not giving you what you want? If you calling the shots, then you don't have to be good or do nothing and just get whatever you want. And so you get it, y'all supposed to mature at some point, see the error in the ways of the child mind you had to make the corrections. Most people don't do that. And so I'll say again, y'all are welcome to get one-on-ones. Maybe you ain't got no funds right now, but you in dire need of it. Reach out, upscaleknowledge@gmail.com. I'll do what I can. Simple thing. Yeah, the energy recycles if you don't break up this cycle. But if you a man, I don't want you to feed into the, you get it? Because that's where half the problem come in too. You got to just back off and be like, don't add to the problem. Where you trying to make a point now and all that, just keep the focus on the kid. And you get it? Being a man is having to do some of the things you may not want to do. Maybe you don't want to leave the household, but you have to. Because you the man, and you get it? You the head of the household, and if that's not being respected, you don't ever become the woman of the household, nigga. You got to go. And you get it? Being a man is more than just providing, but it's knowing when to like put the foot down and make the feet get to going when need be. Let's say you a man and you put your hands on a woman. You should have left on your own and told her I got to earn my shit back on my own. This ain't about you. It's about me and my standard for myself. And so until I know I'm good and that ain't gonna never happen again, I'm gonna be off on the side and you get my point. Y'all gotta be real with self if you young. Otherwise you gonna get old and bitter like all the people you see, man. You're not gonna have that splendor like Big Woo said. It's a deep thing. Now you said the energy recycles if you don't break the cycle. Yep. Now if you have any questions, ask. If you a woman, don't take so much of offense. Like I said, it's not one of those things. If you got something to say, you can say it. Meaning if men do something you don't like, I don't mind you saying it, just don't use that as a deflection because then nothing don't. You get it? This is how we argue in the minority areas. The one point get deflected by the next point, separate all that shit so the points can get got to like. And you don't use whatever you want as a deflection for something you don't want to deal with. You get it? And got to deal with everything just like whatever you talking about got to be dealt with. But it all got to be dealt with. And you get my point? It's a deep thing. If you a woman and the man broke up with you and you got right to feel like that's not fair, especially if y'all got a kid together. He should be able to put up and deal with, you know, whatever little issues you have, and as long as it's not getting to that point where y'all violent and it's getting all bad. Now, people not perfect. Y'all gotta learn to deal with people's imperfections and help them to, like, you know, be better. Same way you gonna need that same thing from them in some aspect. And so if you a woman and you feel like, nah, nigga just left me, fuck that, you wouldn't right to feel that way. And I ain't saying like you a saint. You gonna do things probably wrong from there. And so if you a man, it start there. If you gonna leave the woman, you better make sure it's for a good reason that you could stand on with yourself. Where you like, nah, but this is better than what it was gonna be. I liable to kill her, like. And that you could muster better, like she fucking with me because I left her. But at the end of the day, you get it. She'd be dead if I didn't. And so I'm not speaking to me in no way. This is just, I see y'all young and struggling. I'm grown. Whoever I deal with that's not mature, well, you got my number and you can come and deal with me when you grow up. Other than that, I'm too grown for arguing and back and forth. And more than that, I know my place as a man. I'm not the woman in the relationship, and that's that. It's what I say. If you feel otherwise, be your man. Other than that, any woman I deal with, I'm the man. Don't lose sight of that. It's what I say that have nothing to do with ego. That have to do with order. You want me to be the man when you want me to be the man, then you better shut your mouth and you get it. In the moments I lay my foot down, you shut the fuck up and don't challenge me. You here to ride with me, whether you agree or not. This is what we doing. And my failures is our failures, just like your shortcomings is our shortcomings. And you get it? Now I have to learn order and tribe again. And so, however long it take, but as long as we learn, so it serve whatever generation it serve. Now, yeah, the $1 million scholarship. Now I'm departing. If y'all have any questions, ask now. Anyone wants to give back? Salam. Thank you in advance. And just work to be better. Don't project self onto others so much or use others as a deflection from self or an excuse for self to still stay however you are. Try to grow because you can live that grown out. You get it? A lot of y'all are not growing, but you are grown and you're living out that imbalance. Meaning, because you're not growing, you're manifesting out and living out the childish things or the childish parts of self. Look at it like that. Y'all have y'all maturity and y'all have y'all immaturity. Y'all maturity is going to serve y'all to the fullest. And your immaturity is going to bring you back and cause turmoil. Whatever little pieces of immaturity you still have in your character is going to cost you those issues. And so it's all about growing and, becoming a pillar in life. That's a thing that can't be moved. A good solid thing that things can climb up on and, see it fall like a mountain. You can't move a mountain, but you can climb up to the top of it and get a better perspective. You want to be like that. Something that's grounded that can't be moved, but you get it? You a limit, a goal in life for others to fulfill. Like, I want to climb the mountain and go above it. And that's what life is about, raising the bar, not lowering it so you can measure up to whatever your lows are. It's all about raising. Ain't nothing wrong with being short. I'm not talking height. I'm talking about in your doings. Ain't nothing wrong with being coming up short. You gotta lose a lot before you win. And look at it like that. You can lose a lot before you win, or you can win early and then take all the L's after. But the loss is the lesson. You learn from that, and the wins is the living out of the lessons. Y'all good times is dependent on how y'all handle y'all bad times. Look at it like that. Your good times is as good as you handle your bad times. If the bad times ain't handled, there will be no good time. The good times is dependent on what's learned from the bad times and how you handle that. And you get it. You're gonna make your mistakes and be in your cycles, however long you choose. You said, and that old and bitter person leads to that bitter spirit in the unconscious. If those emotions aren't transcended and dealt with, there you go. The bitterness carries over. It creates the afterlife. If you like how afterlife work, it work like when you go to sleep and then you end up in a dream and you don't realize you're dreaming. You just in that existence. That's how afterlife works. Y'all bitterness and all of the guilt and things and animosities carry over. They create lives for y'all to live. And it binds y'all from moving forward as a soul into your glory. You become lost in your thought or, the things from the physical that you hold on to that don't matter. And so you get my point? All that matters is the time that was spent with the loved ones. You follow? And that's all you got right there. And I always think on things like that. Like, did I add to the bringing togethers of people? Once when I was younger, I stayed with my cousin. He's my mother's cousin. I don't know him that good, but I do know him. I was having a little hardship. We wound up splitting his rent and all of that. And he's kind of like isolated, meaning he not a tidy person or an orderly person. He older though, like a lot older than me, my mother and them age. But he let me stay there. We went half and half on the rent or whatever. And I cleaned the place up, made the place like, a place. And his daughter wound up coming and moving in. His daughter ain't come visit him ever. Nobody did. But my being there, and you get it, bringing my energy and my light there, he started getting visitors. He started coming back alive because he was almost like dead almost. And he started coming back alive. It was good. I got to meet his daughter, spend the time with them. She family, but I would have probably never, got to know her and have a time to spend with her and the same with him and whoever else. And you get my point? Now I wound up leaving because y'all know I'm big on fear, but he passed after that. I mean, when I left, he passed maybe a year or two after that. And you get my point? It served what I say. When I left, everybody left. They stopped visiting him again. And he get it? He went back to where he was. And so you get my point? Life is about that, the bringings together. Even if it ain't appreciated or understood. But as long as you know your intention in that. I got to spend a time with my cousin before he died. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have known him. And so you get my point. A lot of y'all got those kind of things where you got to meet and be with a family member and actually get to know them. And they may not be here no more. And others may not have ever gotten that chance where they're like, I ain't even get to know that person like that. Circumstances bring people together, bring your light. And you get my point. Enjoy your people while you got them. People gonna have problems and attitudes and stuff like that. That all come with it. Like, enjoy that part too. Like when your loved one got an attitude, enjoy it. It's fun. Do like you do when you were a kid and your sibling got an attitude. You like, yeah, who cares? It doesn't matter. We family. What the fuck are you even talking about? And I have to laugh at both. Cause it all don't matter. Like family. Y'all all y'all got. Now I have to depart. Hopefully the lessons was received well. Subscribe if you're not. Any negative talk placed on me that you may have heard, don't bring it here, please. You get my point? I'm a wise person. I do a lot of good on the mental levels. And I live on in balance, so maybe people might try to bring down my character in some way. I'm not aware because I ain't in Babylon. I'm done with all the dumb stuff. But maybe you plagued in that way. You don't gotta pay nothing, no mind. Don't nobody know me. So come for the jewels. If you have a question on anything concerning my honor or my character, just ask me. That's the best thing you could do. Ain't like I'm a lie or anything. And you get my point? Take the jewels, apply them to self, and you get it truth to set you free. Become who you are. You ain't got to measure up to whatever. I know in Babylon a wise person ain't supposed to look like this. I wouldn't care though. What does it matter? My words is my words, my mind is my mind. And you get my point? And I look better than y'all if y'all to me. I look like a young boy, but I'm an old man. And so this is what life is about. Old youth. It's a deep thing. Salam.